Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here, and today I have another list video for you guys, but it's a top 10 this time. I was thinking about videos I could make, and the most common question I get asked on live streams is about businesses. People ask me, should I do this with my business or should I not do this? I decided on doing top 10 worst mistakes players make running businesses. Some of these you guys might consider common sense, but you would be surprised how many people still make these mistakes, and oftentimes, they don't think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. There are so many mistakes I still see people doing, and I will cover each business in this video. I guess you could call this video a guide. I have avoided all of these mistakes, and I've been very successful with my businesses. It's a guide on what not to do. Chances are, either you have done one of these mistakes or you have witnessed it. I hope you guys enjoy. Now let's get started. Starting off at number 10, we have sourcing random cargo in the hangar. People ask me a lot, what's the best hangar crate to source? The three best crates to source in the hangar are chemical, narcotics, and medical. There's no difference in value between them. Everything else has less value in bulk. You get a big bonus if you source 25 crates and then an even bigger one if you source 50 crates. But it's best to source the same crate until the hangar is full. That means choose one crate type, source 50 crates of either narcotics, 50 crates of chemical, or 50 crates of medical. Don't source random crates because it's not as profitable. You lose huge bonuses. Don't mix it up. Source 50 crates of the same crate. Do not source random crates. Don't start throwing random crates in there because it's going to mess it up and you're not going to get the bonus back. Source 50 crates of the same crate. I know I'm repeating myself a lot here, but I see so many people, they're just sourcing random crates in the hangar and they keep asking me, what's the best one to source, and they don't think there's a difference. Source the same type, chemical, narcotics, or medical, 50 times. At number 9, we have assigning technicians to the wrong business in the nightclub. The best businesses to assign technicians to are pharmaceutical research, South American imports, cash creation, cargo and shipments, and sporting goods. These 5, if you own them, will make you the most amount of money per hour in the nightclub, close to $40,000 per hour. They are the meth business, the cocaine business, the counterfeit cash business, the hangar business, and the bunker. Some people, they own organic produce and printing and copying, which are document forgery and weed. If you have these two, do not choose them until one of those 5 listed earlier are finished. When one is finished, choose organic produce next, and then when another is finished, choose printing and copying. That way you can still make some more money while the others are producing. Do not assign your text to organic and printing first. It's not as profitable. Some people have told me they like to finish printing first since it's 60 crates and it finishes pretty quickly, but you don't get as much money per hour if you'll be producing pharmaceutical research, South American imports, sporting goods, cash creation, and cargo. Those are the 5 you always want assigned with technicians. After one is done, then go for organic produce and printing and copying, but never start with printing and copying and organic produce. You're not going to be making as much money as you would with those other 5. Next at number 8, we have not using a terabyte. There are so many people that I see that are still using the office to source CEO crates and import-export vehicles. The reason the Terabyte is superior to using the office is because you can spawn the Terabyte from the interaction menu, and it spawns pretty close to you. You go inside, you source the crates or the car, and that's it. You walk outside, or you can drive the Terabyte there, versus having to watch that long animation in the office. You go into the elevator, you go on the computer. It saves so much time and makes collecting crates and cars more efficient using the Terabyte. Some people have argued with me. They told me that they like to see how much cargo they have, that's why they go in the office, but you can see how many crates you have when you deliver it, and also by checking the computer in that warehouse. I understand that Terabyte won't let you check the warehouse stock, that's not good, but you can check the warehouse stock when you deliver it, or by looking at the computer. I do it by memorizing the amount of crates. When I start sourcing crates, I count how many crates I have in that warehouse, and I just get a number in my head, and I say, okay, this is how much I'm going to get. I'm going to deliver 3 crates. This is how much I'm going to have. That way I don't have to go back to the office each time. I understand the Terabyte, it's an expensive vehicle, and you need a nightclub. If you can't buy it, that's understandable. But if you have enough money for the Terabyte, you already have the nightclub, and you can buy one, and you're not buying one, you're putting yourself at a major disadvantage. It can make everything much easier and much more smoother. Just don't source hangar crates with a Terabyte, as you will have to go back to the hangar each time, and most of the missions you'll have to use a special vehicle for. The Terabyte is the best for crates, which brings me to my next point. Sourcing 1-2 crates at a time, not 3. Now, this is a mistake that I still see so many people making. They choose to source 1 crates or 2 crates at a time instead of sourcing 3, and they argue that it's cheaper and more effective. Now, this is a chart that I created like half a year ago. This was for a video where I made top 5 tips to maximize earnings. And this chart, it shows exactly why 3 crates is the best strategy. And I hope this finally puts the nail in the coffin on what's more effective. 1 crate at a time, 2 crates, or 3 crates. So if you take a look at this 3 crates, that is 37 missions to fill up a full warehouse of 111 crates. So long as you don't get anything destroyed, nothing fails along the way. You would be investing $666,000 and you would be getting $2,200,000 back. Now, let's say theoretically it takes us 5 minutes per mission. And you have a 5-minute cooldown also. So you deliver it around 5 minutes, you have to wait 5 minutes also. You get a $1,534,000 profit. Now, we multiply the missions. 37 missions times 5 minutes equals 185 minutes. But we also have to multiply it by 2, which equals 370 minutes. That represents the 5-minute cooldown. It would take around 6 hours. Now, I understand that sometimes when you source 2 crates or 3 crates, you get those drop missions where you have to take 3 drops individually to the warehouse. If you use a vehicle like the thruster, the buzzard, or the oppressor, you can make this a lot faster. Now, taking a look at the next one, 2 crates, that's 56 missions. You would be investing $442,000, $2,200,000 again. Now, we multiply 56 by 5. Equals 280 minutes, multiply that by 2, 560 minutes. So 9.5 hours to make $1,758,000 profit versus 6 hours to make $1,534,000. Now, if we take a look at 1 crate, that's 111 missions. That's $222,000 that we're going to be investing. Now, take a look at this. 5 minutes per mission, 5-minute cooldown again, 111 missions. Times 5 equals 555 minutes. And you multiply that by 2, that will take about 18.5 hours. I don't think that anybody here watching this video, at least I hope not, wants to spend 18.5 hours filling up their warehouse doing 111 crates. And if you take a look at the profit, $1,980,000. You compare that to 3 crates, $1,534,000. Look at the difference there. In 6 hours, you can make $1,534,000 profit versus 18.5 hours, you will be making $1,980,000. That means that if you don't have any mistakes, you could fill up a large crate warehouse and sell it 3 times in the same amount of time that you'll be filling up 1 crate. And even if you take a look at 2 crates, it's just kind of a $200,000 difference, and it's still in 6 hours. It's much more effective to do 3 crates at a time. Start doing 3 crates. Don't do 1 and 2 crates. I still see so many people doing it. It's not effective unless you're selling small shipments. If you want to sell small shipments, go for 1, 2 crates. But if you're going for the really, really big shipment, go for 3 crates. I still see so many people doing it. One of my friends, he used to fill up 111 crate warehouses with 1 crate until I finally told him about this and I told him to stop, and he finally realized it was bad. He's now doing 3 crates, so please, I beg you, don't do 1, 2 crate missions. If you're selling in bulk, do 3 crates. Moving on at number 6, we have not sourcing top range cars. Some people are going to be confused by this and ask me, what do you mean? How do you source only top range cars? It's actually very simple. All you need to do is fill your vehicle warehouse up to around 10 standard and 10 mid-range cars. After that, you will only source top-range cars. Do not fill your warehouse up with top-range cars after that, though. Whenever you get one, just sell it. Because if you start filling it up with top-range cars after you get 10 standard and 10 mid-range cars and not selling it, you will start sourcing those mid and standard range cars. As long as you keep the warehouse with 10 standard and 10 mid-range cars, you will always source a top-range car. Sell it right after too. It's much more effective than selling mid and standard range cars. Very good way to maximize earnings with import-export business. At number 5, we have not buying supplies. This is probably the most common mistake on this list. I have convinced the majority of my friends and crew to stop stealing supplies and instead buy them, but I still see so many people doing steal supply missions. Now I know I'm going to have a lot of people disagree with me on this, telling me that stealing supplies is more effective because it's free. Well, take a look at this. I did a steal supply mission for my meth business. Look at how ridiculous this one mission is. I have to fly or drive all the way across the entire desert to the coast on the other side, and I have to kill these enemies here, and I only get 1 supply pickup. Then as I'm flying back, I'm vulnerable, and I get attacked by an Oppressor Mark II Griefer. Thankfully, I did manage to make it back, but I only got 1 bar of supplies. All of that effort for just 1 bar? Really? And some missions can be much worse than this one. If you stole supplies, it would only be effective if you own one business or two, or if you don't have upgrades. But if you own the best MC businesses, the weed, the counterfeit cash, the meth, the coke, and the bunker, and you have them upgraded, then it's better to buy supplies. When you buy supplies, it's not 1 bar, but an entire batch. You buy 5 bars of supplies, and then all of your businesses will be producing at once. You can keep track of them versus having to constantly do steal supply missions for each business. It would drive you crazy doing all of those missions back to back. Here, buying supplies for all businesses fills them up at the same time, and then multitask. Do other activities in the meantime. Do import-export, do crates, do VIP work, even heists. Do other activities to make money, and as you are doing those activities, your businesses will all produce. Every 2 hours and 20 minutes, come back and resupply your businesses. Then at the end of the day, sell them. You can see from my computer screens here how much money I made from all of my businesses, and I always buy supplies. That is how I have made so much money through these passive businesses. The only work I gotta do is sell it at the end. I just gotta do one sell mission at the end. So just buy supplies, fill your businesses up, multitask in between, do other activities, make money. It makes everything a lot more profitable and a lot easier. Next at number 4, we have buying terrible business locations. This was the other day where one of my friends asked me to help him sell his bunker. It was the Paleto Bay bunker. This is the worst business location in the game in my opinion. But MC businesses in Paleto Bay, they can be pretty bad as well. It can also be bad owning a hangar in LSIA instead of Zancudo because you can always get free lasers from the Zancudo hangar. And Zancudo, the hangar, the drops and the missions, they're much easier than LSIA's hangar. But here, we're focusing on the Paleto Bay bunker. The primary reason people buy a bunker like this is because it's cheap. They see the cheap price on the Paleto Bay bunker and decide to buy it because of that. What most people don't think about is, why is this business location so cheap in comparison to others? It's because it's a terrible location. In this mission, I have to drive 8 miles in a Phantom Wedge, but imagine if it's something worse, like Dune FAVs, driving 4 of them from Paleto Bay to the city and making 5 separate drops in each vehicle in only 15 minutes. Locations like this do more harm than good. They make everything much harder and more complicated. Some cheaper properties have better locations, but ones like Paleto Bay don't. Property locations that you want to stay away from are Elysian Island for the nightclub and the import-export warehouse, LSIA for the hangar, Paleto Bay bunker, Paleto Bay MC businesses. And what ended up happening to this sale? Well, the bunker sale, it was griefed. Not even halfway to the drop, and it got destroyed. Thankfully, he wasn't selling a full bunker. He didn't close his application in time, unfortunately. I told my friend right after this, you see, this is why this is a bad location. If he had the Chumas bunker, I would have been in the city and possibly made the drop even before the griefer went after the shipment. But because I had to make this huge long drive, I was exposed on the highway and I got destroyed. Some people will tell me, but a bad location like this is all I can afford. My response to that is, don't buy the location then. Instead, save up your money. If you don't have businesses, do heists or contact missions until you have enough money for a good location. Don't buy a bad location just because you're low on cash. You will regret it in the long run. At number 3, we have not upgrading businesses. There is actually a lot of people that still don't have upgraded businesses. I was helping one of my friends here, and he didn't have the upgrades for his counterfeit cash business. If you don't have enough money to upgrade, that's understandable. However, many people, they have enough money to upgrade their businesses, they just choose not to. The main reason they choose not to, in my opinion, it's because they want to spend money on cosmetics. They see a new car come out, and they want that new car, and they want to customize it. If it's not something cosmetic like a car, they don't want to use their money on it. Business upgrades are essential to making money in the long run. If you don't have upgrades like in the MC business, the bunker, or the nightclub, your businesses will produce at a slower rate and they will create less value in product. It also makes buying supplies less efficient if you don't have upgrades. Whenever I get money in this game, I think of ways I can invest that money to get more money back. Instead, I see many players who have very little to no businesses, no upgrades on them, but when I look in their garage, they have 10 supercars all fully upgraded, and then they start complaining that they're broke and it's too hard to make money in this game. Invest your money in your businesses. You will make more money in the long run. Security you can avoid as it just reduces raids, but buy staff and equipment upgrades as soon as you can. Those are really important to making money. Next at number 2, we have selling large businesses solo. This is one of the worst mistakes I see people make. Now don't get me wrong, you can sell some things easily solo, like import-export or a nightclub, but if you're selling a full MC business, a full bunker, a full hangar, full CEO cargo warehouse solo, you're doing it wrong. These missions are designed to be team-based sell missions. Sure, you could technically pull it off solo, but it makes everything so much harder and more complicated. Some people will tell me that they sell in solo public lobbies, but that makes it still hard. Here you can see me selling a full weed business solo by myself with 3 dodo planes, and it was a pain to do this mission solo. In most missions, you would have to go back for 2 other vehicles and make the drops again, constantly going back and forth. All it takes is just one griefer to go back there and destroy your vehicles, and they are completely vulnerable. I have seen solo public sessions where a griefer came in and destroyed everything. It can happen. Take a look at this. I was flying my jetpack the other day, and I noticed an MC business with 3 other bikes outside. He was making a solo sale. I'm not a griefer. I mind my own business, and I leave other people's cargo alone. But if I'm not even looking for cargo and I see this, a griefer can easily see someone is doing a solo sale and destroy it all. A long time ago, I saw 3 bikes outside, just like this. It was a very hostile lobby. People were killing each other like crazy. And I thought, what is this guy doing? What is he thinking selling this solo here? I stood by it, and this guy started spamming me, begging me not to destroy his cargo. I replied to him, I'm not destroying your cargo, I'm protecting it. Now hurry up. The guy thanked me and came back and got the other bikes, and then a griefer came with a jet trying to blow up the rest of the bikes. That was back when jets were the biggest threat, not Oppressor Mark IIs, and I shot him down and I told the guy hurry up and get the other bike. I got my own jet and I kept bombing the guy. Then he activated Ghost Organization and he was so determined to destroy his cargo. I jumped out of my jet, I sat next to it and waited until I saw him. He came towards the bikes and I killed him a few times. Unfortunately, he got me and destroyed one of the bikes, but the high demand bonus made the majority of it back for the guy, and he sold 3 out of 4 bikes. He wasn't angry that his last bike got destroyed and he thanked me. He said no one has ever done something like that for him before. That's why it's important to have friends to help you sell these businesses. I would rather wait a few days for a friend to help me sell than selling it by myself. The best minimum is 2 other people to help you sell. Even just 1 extra person helps tremendously. I know what some people are going to tell me. They always comment it. But what if I don't have friends? If you don't have friends, make them. It's not difficult. I have been playing GTA Online for 5.5 years. Years before my channel, I made plenty of friends in free mode and across heists, just playing in a session with them. There's plenty of good people out there. Don't be scared. Interact with them. Ask them, do you need help? And ask them if they can help you back. That's how you make friends. There are trolls to watch out for, sure, but the majority of people you will interact with are good people. Some people, unfortunately, even if they have help offered to them, they will refuse it. They insist on doing everything solo. I had a friend like that who never wanted help from no one. He always wanted to do everything solo. If you told him, let me help, he said no. One time he was selling 111 crates. I asked him, do you need help? He's like, no, I don't. He had the Titan cell mission, and the NPC buzzards were going after him. He was freaking out in the party, saying, they're going to shoot me down. Thankfully, I was already in a jet doing Headhunter. I flew over, and I shot them down, and I saved his cargo. He sold it successfully. But honestly, afterwards, I yelled at him, telling him, why on earth are you selling this solo? I offered you help, and your stuff almost got destroyed because you didn't want it. He left the party and went offline all pissed off, and I was thinking to myself, why am I even playing with this guy? People who choose to do everything solo should not be complaining that the missions are too hard when they are meant to be team-based cell missions. They chose to do it solo. And what ended up happening to my solo weed sale? This idiot who pretended to be friendly orbital candidate. Thankfully, I only had 1 drop left in the planes. I got back, I made the other drops, but I spent 25 minutes selling this one business. It could have been in under 10 minutes if I had just 2 other friends to help me. Don't sell these businesses solo. If you don't have anybody to help you, I suggest to hold off selling until you do. And number 1, the worst mistake players have made in businesses is buying the nightclub first. I know some people are going to laugh at this, but it has happened to people. Some people have actually purchased a nightclub as their first business. This is the biggest waste of money, and I can't think of an even bigger mistake in businesses. You basically invested millions of dollars into nothing. The nightclub will come in handy later when you get more businesses, but you never want to buy it first. The nightclub is a great business, but completely ineffective if you don't have businesses to link it to. I have seen some comments from people accusing me of lying to them. They said, you said the nightclub is an amazing business, yet I bought it and I don't make any money from it. You lied to me. No, I did not lie. I have said several times the nightclub is a great business, but only effective if you have other businesses to link it to. Some people, they don't listen. They see me making all this money from my nightclub and assume that's all they need. No other businesses. But for some new players, we can't really blame them, because if somebody new gets on the game and they don't really have a good understanding of the businesses, they will see the nightclub and think, this is a good business. This will make me a lot of money. It's a nightclub. They buy it and then realize they need other businesses to link it to. The game does not do a good job of explaining that you need other businesses for the nightclub, so some people have basically invested millions of dollars into nothing. That nightclub purchase will help them later, but at the start, it's the biggest waste of money. And that would be the biggest mistake that I would see, because it would make someone go broke just starting out and they would get nothing from it. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for the length, but I had a lot of tips to cover and a lot of mistakes to cover. I hope that you guys did overall enjoy it. If you did, drop a like. If you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.